Welcome to Honesty Hour, an intimate women-only conversation series where truth finally has a safe space to breathe. Here, every guest wears a physical mask to protect her identity, allowing her to speak freely without fear of judgment, labels, or social backlash. In this space of radical safety, women open up about the thoughts that they usually silence and the stories that they'd never dare to tell. At the end of every conversation, each woman is given a choice to keep the mask on or to remove it, standing openly by her truth. Tonight's episode asks a bold question. What would happen if Black women were 100% honest? In a world that often praises their strength, but rarely listens to their vulnerability, this conversation opens the door for truth, raw, real, and unapologetic. Here, these women share what it means to navigate identity, beauty, and belonging while carrying expectations that the world may never fully understand. They're here to speak their truth, unfiltered, unedited, and masked or unmasked. This is Honesty Hour. I feel pressure to always be strong because I'm Black.
I am a woman who happens to be Black, so the pressure is not on me to be this some type of like human, superficial person. My goal is to live my life and be the best person I can be. I don't feel pressure to do anything that I think something that's forced upon me to do.
I agree with her. I don't feel as though we're pressured. I feel like we're expected. So I feel like it's an expectation that's placed upon us. But I don't feel pressured to do it. It's just an expectation, and you do not have to be. Yeah.
I mean, it's sort of like there's this mentality within not even just the Black community, but in other communities that they, like, even if you do, like, line up with one of the stereotypes, you sort of, like, feel a sense of guilt or something like, oh, like, I'm not representing us, like, in a tasteful way, regardless of it's, like, positive or negative.
I feel the pressure because I decided to be a single mom because I left my husband. And a lot of stuff, I feel like people just put more pressure on single moms. And as a Black woman, I feel like we just take on everything. So that's what I feel.
I would say that I do feel the pressure because I know that's what the default is. I have to be actively rebellious against it. So while I do feel the pressure, I'm rebellious against it. I push against it because I think that we have got to make a stand. We have to say, I am a woman. I am not superwoman, but I am a woman, and have those boundaries because I think those stereotypes still cascade. You know, they go down from generation to generation, and you have to actively resist because I don't think the pressure generally goes away, but you have to have the tenacity to resist it.
I would say, like, I definitely feel some pressure to be strong, and I felt it a lot, especially growing up in a majority white, I'm from the South, so there's always pressure to, one, not fulfill some stereotype that I know these people around me have, and not just because I was guessing it, like they would tell me you're like the quote unquote good Black person. You're the good Black girl. And I used to really, I don't want to say that I enjoyed that because it felt like, again, it's the whole idea of the white supremacist society that we live in. And like with these white people validating me and saying you're being like this good version of Black people or whatever it is. And I felt like I had to stay that and fulfill that to be able to fit in and not be ostracized by the people around me. That was just like what I had to do. Now that I'm not living in the South anymore, I feel like I was able to let go of some of that pressure to be like some version of myself and like let myself be. I don't want to say like living the soft life, but that is kind of what it is. I'm allowing myself to not be perfect, to not be this or that, and it's been kind of freeing, honestly.
I'm happy for you for that.
Thank you.
Being that I'm a product of a single mom, I think I've seen her work so hard. She had 3 kids by herself, put herself through nursing school, bought her own house. So I can see how that would feel for you. And I think that's probably why I'm so kind of like against it, because being a latchkey kid and also being the eldest daughter, it's like the responsibility was put on me because I had to be the person to kind of be the responsible one. And when I got to college, I was like, you know what? No. I'm tired of doing it. And also being from the South, I grew up in Alabama, and having, I don't know, and being a product of my stepmom, who's a white woman, and having that lens of her marrying my father when I was 5 years old, and they're still married, but seeing that other part of the spectrum, and her actually having a sister who is alt-right. It's kind of like seeing, and then also being kind of like, oh my God, Monica, you're so cute, like you're going to school. I'm like, but no, but also having a mom who's like pro everything. And her always kind of feeding into me saying, Monica, do your best. Don't do what I did. I'm living through you, but I want you to have the experiences I never got to have. And so with that, I say to myself, like, I don't have to be this person who I'm supposed to be through society. I can be just a black girl who likes to hear rock music. I can be a black girl who likes to go to plays. I can be a black girl who goes to a PWI, but still, does different things. And I don't feel the pressure to do anything different. So I think college, and by me, it kind of helped shift my mindset from that. And I also started with my mom to being a single parent. So you got it, girl. You gonna do it.
I think it's like case by case, because sometimes it's like, when you get to a certain point where you're like, okay, I just need to like there's no hiding this. But sometimes it's like, okay, like I can't be in these people's faces like looking crazy. So I guess it sort of depends on where the audience is, and also just kind of like what kind of day you're having, I would say.
I feel like I agree with you, but I also feel like there's a time and place for everything when it comes to me, and based on what I do for a living and what I aspire to be, I have to be very careful when it comes on to that, because saying the wrong thing sometimes can destroy what you're trying to build before you can even start, because society nowadays is very sensitive. It's not like it used to be. And everybody take things personal, and sometimes the truth is the truth, but it's going to ruffle a lot of people who's on top that you need to get you where you need to be. It's going to ruffle their feathers, and that can destroy everything. So for me, like, I pick and choose. When it comes onto my career and certain things having to do with where I'm trying to go, no. But on my day-to-day life, when it comes on to like raising my daughter and little things, yes, I'm not holding it back. If I got to hold it back in this aspect, everywhere else, it's not being held back.
I feel like sometimes my community holds me hostage. I was raised in a all-white neighborhood too, and I think that if you don't like fit into like a certain type of black woman, if you don't go along with like this playbook of like what you're supposed to believe about the world and what you're supposed to believe about people who are outside of the group, what are you supposed to believe politically, romantically, it's like there's this like manual that you gotta follow, and if you don't, it's like you're not a real black person, or you're, you know, I have slightly conservative views, like not even really that crazy, but it's like what you said, everybody's so sensitive, and I feel like sometimes while we want to be seen as individuals, when it comes to certain things, they really do put the pressure, I feel it, the pressure on to, you know, you're not really black if you don't vote this way, or you're not really black if you don't date this kind of, marry this person. And it's very constraining, you know, and you sort of walk this line of like wanting to be accepted from, these are your people. It's like, there's something so painful about being rejected by people who look like you, especially when you feel like you don't like have any other place to really go that these people look like you. I mean, yes, you can form these communities where they love you, you know, they're all, you know, looks like the United Colors of Benetton, your whole group of people, but like sometimes you just want your people to just be like, embrace you. And I feel like if you don't go by the playbook, you'll be punished for it. And it's not pretty.
That's interesting. I feel like it's also who you have around you too. And my experience may be a little bit different. I grew up in an all black neighborhood, went to black schools, did marching band, was exposed to HBCUs at like in elementary school. And what we always say, we had what we call kitchen table talk. And so there are some things that I would say in the kitchen with my folks that I would never say out in public, because for one, I'm not gonna be delusional and think, well, I can just be this person who's just speak her mind. I got bills I gotta pay. Keep that real. And also because my profession, I do customer service, and my view on something may not be her view or his view. So I have to be mindful of what I'm gonna say, but it depends on the audience as well too. I think you said it before. When you are in that community with people and can express yourself, and be like, sometimes you gotta educate our people. They think, you know, like, listen, that if you talk educated, you are a white girl. That is so crazy to me. But it's just like a trickle down effect from white supremacy and all the kind of stuff that, you know, we can go on top of that all day, because it's like almost beating a dead horse. And I feel like, with that being said, I can be myself, but I also learn not to have to code switch, because I used to do that years ago. And I'm like, why are you code switching? These white folks ain't gonna like you anyway. You have to be yourself. I'm gonna have to be who I am. So I'm professional. I should work on time. I do the best I can be. And if you can't accept me for that, I don't know what else you're gonna do, because their perception of me is already made up. No matter how good you are, no matter how proper you talk, no matter how much money you have in your bank, or what car you drive, you would never be enough to that person who has their mind made up. So I decided with that, I'm gonna be me and just keep it moving.
With me, I hold back a lot, because I just got a temper and an attitude. And I'm a Sagittarius, I'm a fire sign, so a lot of stuff get on my nerves. I just like hold back, but I do see, like, if I'm driving my car and somebody want to get over, it's kind of because you're black, they kind of make it seem like if I get over on her, she's gonna have an attitude, or she gonna try to do something to me. And 90% of the time, I'm like, go, because I'm passive. I don't care, go, just drive. But I feel like as a black person, people feel like you're aggressive, or like you're gonna do something, or you get into an argument in the store, something's going to go left, and I'll be like, no, that's not me, just go. But I do have a slick mouth, so I do hold back a lot, and I just, 90% of the time, just try to stay in my lane, because I'm like, I don't want to be always looked at as that person anyway, even though they do see us as that person, so that's how I go about it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely. I don't know if you guys, somebody want to go first.
Also, I mean, I don't know what even
Stereotypes start from somewhere, you know? It's like, it doesn't just come out of thin air, you know what I mean? It's like, you know, Asians have this, they can't drive, right? Everybody has like this thing where it's like there's enough of people in that group where you can say, okay, this tends to be the tendency for like a particular group. And I would definitely say that there are some stereotypes about Black people that are true, and I don't think they're all bad. You know what I mean? I think that some of the stereotypes about us being like more in our body, we are more in touch with like our emotions, we're more expressive, incredibly creative musically with art and all of those things. Those stereotypes, I think, are beneficial, but I think that the stereotypes that like we want to deny that are still a problem, and everybody else sees. I'm going to use it as an example. Like, we've got a huge out of wedlock rate in our community, and I know it's painful. I know it's really hard to talk about. I've been a single mom. I got pregnant in college, not on purpose. You know, had to do the WIC and the welfare and all of that, try to get through school. And so I don't come from a position of like, oh, I'm so much better, because I've been in that situation. But I think that like we gotta be a little bit more honest. We don't necessarily have to, acknowledge it to anyone else. We don't have to be accountable to anyone else, but I feel like we need to be honest with ourselves. I feel like our grandmothers, our mothers, our friends, our sisters need to be more open about like how incredibly hard it is to do it by yourself.
Yeah.
I think we need to be more honest about like, how that just is scary. How you coming home from work, you're 5 minutes late to pick up your kid from daycare. They want to charge you $30 a minute, and you're stuck in traffic, and you just weep, and there's nobody you can call and say, I can't do all of it. And you feel like, I gotta be strong, I gotta have it put together. But we aren't honest about like how truly hard it is. And I think that that's a stereotype that has been harmful for us. And if not acknowledging it outside of the community, we don't have to do that. But we do need to acknowledge it within our community.
Yeah, like she said, it's easy to claim that like, oh, Black people can cook, they can sing, they're super athletic, but then when you bring in, oh, they gangbang, they steal, like they're less smart or capable within society. It makes you double think, like maybe there are some things that we can work on, but I don't think that we can necessarily reject all of them either. If that makes sense.
It's nuance. It's nuance.
I will say, like, I would push back on, okay, the stereotype of Black people not being as smart. I mean, that's not true.
I don't think
And
that's
it's
true.
really related to just like lack of funding and education and all of this stuff. Like, that's what it's like. There are sometimes there are stereotypes that are realized because of the systems and the infrastructures that we are raised in. Is not necessarily something innate. And I think that's something, especially a lot of people on the more alt-right side or conservative side, they like to believe that Black people are literally like this way because of our genetics, or because that like we are made this way, and that's not the case at all. I mean, if it's genetic, like I mean, go back to like all of the immigrants from like Africa. Do you know how intelligent and smart they are? Mm-hmm. Like they're all doctors, they're like lawyers, all this stuff. They're incredible, and they're related to us by way of course, but the fact that we are, I'm not sure if all of us are like children and descendants of enslaved Africans in the United States, but the fact of the matter of like the society that our parents and grandparents lived in, like, and the ramifications are still happening, like something like intelligence that is not it's not innate at all.
Definitely.
I have felt ashamed of my natural features at some point.
I want to start. I see a lot of girls like lately doing like black girls because we have like wider noses, doing a lot of like stuff to their nose, and I'm like, that is the craziest thing I've ever seen. It's like getting worse and worse. Like I'll go on social media. I think it was Angela Simmons. They had her before and her after picture, like when she was first in the industry till now. And I'm like, it's a shame that we don't like our own features. That girl is beautiful. I'm like, you did not need to go and do something to your face. But it's a lot of black women that don't think their features are good enough. And I'm like, who's telling us this stuff? It's crazy. It's like, you see it every single day. Girls are lightening their skin, fixing their nose, whatever else, doing the whole BBL stuff, you know, whatever, getting their body fixed. And it's like, that's not us. Why we have to all look the same? So I was telling my sister, I'm like, no matter what people say about my face, I'm keeping it. Because at the end of the day, this is my face. If y'all don't like it, too bad. But it's just,
I feel like, sorry, I feel like at one point, especially growing up, I was born and raised in Jamaica. And when I came to the States, when I was in Jamaica, I never knew, like, I didn't feel a way about how I look, like, at all. I came to the United States, and I'm like, what is wrong with these people? Send me back, please. Because I came here, and everyone, they would talk about my skin tone, like, why are you so black? Why are you so black? You too dark, you're an African booty scratcher. I'm like, I don't know nothing about Africans, but I don't scratch my booty. And I'm just like, that was me in elementary school. So I feel like it starts young, and I feel like it stems from what they're hearing from their parents, what they're seeing at home and stuff. Because I would go to school and I'm getting tormented by the way about the way I look, and I always hated because of that. I went from not caring and loving myself to hating my skin tone. I used to try to like rub things on my skin at home. My lips. They used to talk about my lips, and I'm like, I don't really got that much lips, but damn. They used to talk about my lips. They used to talk about my nose. And I noticed that over time, as I grew older, that it started seeping into my household. So it was now the adults that's coming and like, oh, you're built like this. Oh, your nose is this. Our family our nose are slimmer, your nose. And I'm like, wait, now it's going to the older people in my family, and it's like you're looking at what you're seeing outside of the household and online and on TV, and now you're judging your genetic. It's in our blood. So I feel like things that you can't change shouldn't be judged, and I feel like that's something I had to learn over time, and that's why now, like more than ever, I embrace every aspect of me, especially my skin. Oh, baby, you can't tell me nothing now. If you're not dark, I feel like something's wrong with you. I'm just kidding. But like seriously, like now that's how I view it. It's like, okay, clearly people I feel like TV shows, movies, they feed that to us to try to let us doubt ourselves and not see our value, not see our worth. At the end of the day, our skin tone, we could go in the sun. We're not going to, everything is made on us for a reason. Like right now, I can't breathe. Now if I change my nose to this, how am I going to breathe? No offense. But I feel like everybody is built a certain way for a reason. So I feel like we shouldn't be, oh my God, you're too dark. Just be you. Accept yourself for what you are. Because there's family members that's blonde hair, blue eyes, and it's like, oh, you're still cute, you're beautiful. Like, so I feel like everyone should get that same feeling, no matter how you look.
Well, I feel like for me, it's sort of like I had this pressure. Well, like I've always been sort of athletic, and I always felt like I need to have a certain thinness, but like I don't like my body type is more athletic build instead of like slim. So I always like had this, I guess, internal insecurity of like looking too manly or something like that, looking too bulky. And I feel like as black women, we already like get masculinized a lot. So I felt like I needed to be like dainty. I felt like I needed to eat less. I needed to like do cardio and stuff so to look more dainty and princessy and like looking more like athletic, or I would say like warrior, like it's something how I look at it now. But before I felt like, oh, I don't want to bulk up too much. I don't want to look like a man. I don't want to be too beefy and stuff. But I feel like that's an extra layer of like pressure for me to be like, I don't know, like I said, smaller.
It's so funny you say about the weight.
Yeah.
So for me, I was always a plus size girl. Growing up, I was big, I had a big nose, still do, it looks great now. I have full lips. And then I was shape. So growing up down south, you gotta think about how we get sexualized as a children so young. And I will always, I think a memory, I'm probably like 10 years old. And this guy comes up to me and tries to talk to me. My mom cusses him out in a Walmart. So because of the way that I'm shaped, I got boobs, I got hips. And then two, I had acne because my family had acne prone skin. I used to hate my skin. I used to hate the way that I looked. And it didn't help that I didn't see myself on TV. It didn't help I didn't see a bigger girl. I didn't see a girl who had like, who's not quote unquote your ideal woman of being someone who's pretty. I would see thin girls, so I'm like, okay, maybe I should like lose weight. But I'm like, I like to eat too, so I'm like, I ain't gonna starve myself. It's like, but that internal battle that I had inside of myself, I'm like, and then I'm trying to like put on makeup to make myself feel better with my skin, and I would get my hair done every 2 weeks, because my mom did not play that, but I had to kind of try to do something because I wasn't losing weight. And then my shape was like, I'm a hippie girl, so it's like I can't do anything about it. But I think once again, college, when I went to school in college, I don't know, just being outside of what I was around and being with a different group set of people, and I learned to like, you know what, Monica, like, this is who you are. You're not gonna do anything. You're not gonna get no BBL. You're not gonna get no lipo. Hell, you can't afford it. So, so what you gonna do? Like, just accept who you are. And I started to learn more about skincare, and I started learning more about makeup, which is how I got into my career. And I said, okay, like, I'm only one me, and I've seen girls who I thought were beautiful girls, and they will come and talk to me about confidence. And I'm like, girl, look at yourself. Like, look how you look, and you coming to me, asking me, because quote unquote, I'm thinking I'm an ugly duckling, but they're telling me the things they don't like about themselves. I'm like, girl, we gotta fix something about it. But I learned through that, like, it's all within and how you feel about yourself, because like, I could have been doing something worse, trying to outsource what I felt inside. But it took years for me to stop doing that. And it's like a battle I go through even at my age right now. I'm like, okay, girl, like I might get like a little pimple here and there. I'm like, well, hell, it is what it is, and keep it moving.
I think, like, when you were talking about the colorism that you experienced when you came to the United States, I would just say welcome. I mean, because I had the same thing. It was like, and it started at home. Like, my parents are from the South, and one way or another, it just got into me that somehow there was something wrong with, like, me being as dark as I was, and then even dating, it, you know, I would have guys say to me, well, I don't usually date girls as dark as you. And then I'm like, is that supposed to be, am I supposed to be grateful for the fact that you I mean, bruh, you're darker than me. What are you talking about? And it's like, well, I have to think about, like, what are my kids going to look like? And so it was this sort of thing of like, I remember being a little kid and looking through like Ebony and Essence and stuff, and I was like, if I could just be pretty, if I could just be like a little bit lighter, if I could just be a little bit lighter, then I would be pretty. Mm-hmm. And that's like so embarrassing to say, but it was very young where I felt like there was something wrong with me being as dark as I was. And then you look at every like black romance movie, every single one, please tell me if I'm wrong, the man is always dark and the woman is always light.
Oh my gosh.
And it's like, I don't even see myself there.
Yeah.
It's just like, I can't think of a single movie where the woman was not darker than the man, or even the same color?
Growing up, was the only person in my family that had curly hair. And they used to praise me for my hair. To this day, I do not want to ever see a curl in my hair. If my hair washed, like everybody always say, oh my God, when they wash it in the shop, can I keep it like this? I'm like, straighten my hair, please. Because I got treated way better than my sister, who was probably prettier than me because I had better hair than her. Every time I went to school, people did my hair. All my cousins promised me stuff. If I do your hair today, you can eat this. And like, treat me like a celebrity. Like, because I have curly hair. And I just never understood why a black girl couldn't have curly hair and be normal. It wasn't skin color for me, it was always hair. So when I got 13, I think, they straightened my hair because they said, you can't straighten your hair, it's too pretty. So I turned 13, they finally straightened my hair. Never went back to curly hair in my life. That's the curliest you'll see in a ponytail. But I have to have straight hair to feel beautiful because I didn't like it. Like, why do you get treated better than everybody because of your hair texture?
Did you have girls that also feel jealous? Like, would they just not like you because you had hair like that and they didn't?
Yeah, none of my cousins had curly hair or hair at all. Not to be mean, but like a lot of girls growing up dark skin, they didn't have hair. And I'm the only one with hair like 10 here. So it was bad. So I don't know. That was my thing. I had to grow up with curly hair, and it was always.
You're laughing over there.
It's not funny.
It was always a thing. To the point where people still to this day ask me, like, are you mixed with Hispanic? Are you mixed with Dominican? Why do you have curly hair? And I'm like, how can you still see my texture of my hair? Mm-hmm. But it's just always been hair for me. So.
It's crazy how adults can put stereotypes on children.
I know.
And how it can scar you for the rest of your life. Mm-hmm. I can't really say I had an issue. Well, I can think of something in particular my aunt had said to me. She was like, you were lighter in this picture, but now you're darker. That was like, okay. So that and them always kind of comparing themselves when it comes to weight. Mm-hmm. Like, it's always like, well, your auntie, she didn't gain weight, or girl, you didn't put some pounds on you. It's like, people put their insecurities off on you, and you think I have a child, how a child absorbs so much stuff, and them unknowingly taking it to school because they didn't heard good hair, bad hair from the kitchen table talk at home, and now they have developed this thing about it. And I can say for myself, although I had a great childhood, my mom she was the best mother in the whole world. That her because she was a single parent, and I saw how hard that she worked, that made me say, I don't know if I want kids, because she had no time for self. And so that kind of like, I know I'm kind of pulling other topics in there, but it's going to all come together, but it's like those stereotypes and just the family just saying things about your body, and like you're not thinking about your hips, you're not thinking about your hair, you're not thinking about your full lips, or even having an uncle look at you like something's wrong, or looking at your body. It's like adults are disgusting because a child is sitting here thinking nothing about that. And it's just like, when I hear stories about people saying, oh, like, this has hurt me, like, when did it happen? Well, when I was a child, like, you still have that wound inside of you that can't be healed because you can't talk to your mother or your father or your grandfather, because they don't believe they did anything wrong because of their trauma. And it's kind of like, what are you going to do? So are you going to be the person who's going to break that chain? And I can say for myself, my mama was that person to break that chain, because my family is toxic. And I can say, if I were around those people growing up, I would not be the person I am today. So
I secretly resent movements like BLM and DEI.
Okay. How can I explain this? I secretly resent them sometimes because of how a lot of people on the other side of the aisle will use certain like outlier things to discredit the entirety of the movement. Like the idea that if a black person is in like a high, like a very intense role or whatever, that you don't usually see a lot of black people in, they're going to say it's really just because they're filling a quota or whatever, and discrediting the accomplishments that that black person really worked hard for to get to that place. So that's kind of why I would say I don't resent the movement as a whole, just like how sometimes it can be twisted to discredit people who actually work so incredibly hard to get to where they are. And a lot of times you're just seen as like, oh, a diversity hire, and it's just so obnoxious.
It's patronizing. You know, it's like they automatically just assume, and there's just this level of like, I don't know, I feel like sometimes it's like a video game. It's like, oh, we want to check all the boxes. So we're going to get a black lesbian with one leg who's autistic, you know, so we can just check all the boxes. And you're not even seeing me. You don't see me. I'm just this thing you can check off. Yeah. And like, does it matter that I'm good? Does it matter that I'm smart? Or are you just doing this to like make yourself feel better? Because as soon as I walk out of line from what you think I'm supposed to be, then all of a sudden, then I become the uppity Negro. Like, how dare you? Don't you know that we are the reasons why you have all of the things that you have? Like, how dare you, uppity Negress, to like have anything to say about anything? Don't you see all the things we do for you? Yes, that is so. It enrages me. It doesn't mean that those things aren't important if they're implemented in the right way. But I don't like oh my gosh, there's this term, the soft bigotry of low expectations. And people don't think that that is racist, but that is extremely racist. When you look at me and you say, oh, you poor thing, let me save you. I want to punch them in the throat. Like, no, I don't. Look at me, I am intelligent, I can do it. Give me the chance. I don't want that to be the first thing people think about me if I were to be in a position. I want to be excellent. And I want you to be hiring me because I'm excellent, not because, you know, I am the crippled black lesbian, you know, that just gets all the boxes checked for you. Like, I'm a person.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't feel like only black people benefited from the DEI. It wasn't specifically and only for black people, but black people became the poster child because it boiled down to, oh, let's just help the weakest links get a leg up. And I feel like that's the connotation that grew. But I think the actual origination like of DEI and of Black Lives Matter, like we rallied together because of Trayvon Martin. And we became a community, and we stood for something as a community. And I feel like that's the image of Black Lives Matter that I want to think of when I think of Black Lives Matter. And of course, it always like it comes with the All Lives Matter and like the Blue Lives Matter and those type of things try to tarnish the reputation that we built from those movements. But I still feel a lot of pride just thinking about like how like we have the ability, like it's not always us being like against each other. We can stand together and make a change, and I feel like that's what Black Lives Matter truly should be.
I agree with everyone. I feel like everything has its benefits and negative sides to them. And not all good things are what they seem or portray to be. I feel like for a lot of black people especially, and a lot of people in general, if it wasn't for this, a lot of us wouldn't get certain opportunities. I'm not gonna lie, I've gotten an opportunity simply because they needed one black girl. one dark-skinned girl to fill that spot. And it's like, even with my daughter's school, my daughter goes to a majority white school, the best school, one of the top schools in Texas. And you can count on one hand how many kids that is our color is in that school, that entire elementary school. And I'm grateful for it because it's helping my daughter. She's able to see all aspects. And if it wasn't for that, she wouldn't be in that school. She wouldn't be able to get that level of education, that the quality that these kids are getting, if it wasn't for that being set in place. But like I said, not things that's deemed to be good is always that great. You know, there's downsides to everything.
Yeah, I think everything has its pros and cons. Like what Black Lives Matter, what it was made for was for Trayvon Martin. And DEI, I think the people who mostly benefited from it were women, if I'm not mistaken.
Specifically
White
white
women.
women.
Yeah, like exactly. You see what I'm saying? So
We
it's
became poster
like,
child with this, like.
and it's kind of like we've always been scapegoat. It don't matter if the sky turned purple or somebody black did it. They did something. You know, it's like we're gonna always be the scapegoat. So my thing is like, are we gonna keep on just fussing and fighting about it, or are we gonna do something about it? You get what I'm saying? I am no type of person to be some type of organized activist of anything like that. I would say that, but I'm gonna say like, it's very nuanced, which is a lot of things very nuanced. There's no right or no wrong answer to it. Like, people are validated by their feelings. And it doesn't help that the founder of Black Lives Matter was a person who was stealing money either. So that doesn't help that she was around here buying mansions and going on trips when there are black and brown people getting murdered in the street from police who do have gangs in their organization. But that's like a whole different thing. So I see everyone's point.
I see, yeah.
It's only they know if it's genuine or not.
Yeah.
Like,
It's weird when like they come to rallies and then they start shit like they feel anger in our place and then they act in ways that maybe are like they go to people like peaceful protests and then they start throwing bricks in the windows or they start like agitating the police just because they want to make that like a activist kind of movement. But for the people who follow the rules of like true allyship, like if we're saying this is a peaceful protest and we keep it within that, then that's what happens. But if they like start stirring the pot, like, are you really here because you want to make change, or are you just wanting to have that adrenaline rush and like use this as like a way to pat yourself on the back?
I think it's a lot of that. I think it's a lot of, you know, look at me, I'm so virtuous, you know, I'm so, you know, I've already apologized 11 times for being white, and so now I'm so woke, I'm going to get on TikTok and tell everybody what you won't say to black women today. I'm like, Becky, excuse me. And so Becky will proceed to tell everyone what you're not supposed to say to a black woman today. And I'm like, you know, when it gets to the point of where it's more than just allyship, it's let me show you how to do this better, or let me like just stand over here so that I can be the focus and I can get some sort of dopamine hit by everybody clapping like seals because I'm on the right side of history. I think a lot of it is fake. I think like the screeching boomers, where I see them on my timeline with the blue hair, what are you doing? There was one time that was just really blatantly racist. I am not a MAGA person, but there are some black people who are MAGA. And I remember looking on my ex timeline, and there was a black guy who was just wearing his MAGA hat, and a white man was basically, he called him a coon. He said, you know, you hate yourself, and you would think that I'd be the one. And he's like this white guy, big old belly. You think that I'd be the one wearing that hat, but look at you. You're a disgrace. that is way too far. Like, to me, if those things are in your mind, and because I'm not on the side that you're on, you think you have a pass to show me what you really think. And that's what I think a lot of it is, because as soon as you say, you know what, I'm not really a Democrat like that, the first thing they'll do is say, well, you know, those Republicans think that you're the N-word. And I'm like, well, so do you. You just say it indirectly. You behave that way. Everything you do, you treat me like I'm a pet. I am not a pet. At least I know what I'm looking at over there. I don't know what you are over there. You're wearing a mask. You're pretending. When I step out of line, though, you're going to call me every name in the book. And that, to me, is not true allyship.
I see exactly what both of you guys are saying, but I feel like you never truly know. But what you do know is, yes, there are some people that are genuinely with you, and yes, there are people who are placed there, probably paid to be a part of it, you know? But I feel like you never truly know. You never truly know unless, like, I don't know, you never really know.
I would say that you can know by the consistency. And the fact that especially a lot of companies, now that Trump has been president, you've seen a lot of companies dialing back their DEI, which they were implementing a lot in 2020 to try to be like, you know, we're rallying for like Black lives do matter, but now that there's pressure from the government to like roll back on that, they're all folding. And that's across the board, not just companies, it's like schools and all of this stuff. And it's that, to me, is a sign that, one, yes, it was very performative, but when we're talking about individual like quote unquote white activists, again, like, how you can say that consistency is a thing, but also I will say, to your point, a lot of white people who are actually racist and need to hear certain things, they will not receive that from Black people. So white activists who are rallying for us are incredibly important. And I think there are a lot of genuine white activists out there who are actually trying to make the world a better place, and they have a good heart behind it. Sometimes there may not be the best implementation of them of whatever they're doing, but I would lean against the majority of it being fake. I really would. Because especially with like this younger generation, like Gen Z, like they're so passionate about so many things, and I think that's amazing and incredible. Again, they're all very young, so certain things they're figuring out how to best like be an activist, etc. But I don't think that that's something that we should like discredit or put a blanket statement on, because there's so many good hearts out there, so many, and they want there to be in like this United States and the whole entire world to be more of an equitable place. So yeah.
I mean, I feel the same way. I'm not saying all of them, but enough of them to be annoying to me.
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought it up, though, because it's like, if you really want to put your money where your mouth is, it's not really preaching to Black people. You need to be preaching to your own family, like fight against their like the inner racism within them, because it's sort of like, it's not really Black people's our responsibility to fix white people. White people need to fix themselves, and of course they wouldn't hear that from a Black person. They would hear that from a white person who's like, hey, I know we have this privilege, and they use their privilege to propel themselves within those spaces in order to make change.
I've felt judged for having interracial relationships.
Yes.
I'll start. I never dated outside my race, but it's not because different races don't look good. I just never wanted the shame or the blame. I have a friend that has a baby she's Black, but she has a baby with a white guy, and it looks really white. And she would always tell me, like, when she go places, people would follow her around and say, give that baby back, and stuff like that. And I see, like, I'm never going through that in my life. I just date my Black man. To me, I just don't want to go through stuff like that. It's just me. I don't want to already live in a world where we already judged and then looked at, and I said, that's not for me. I just can see myself moving towards life where I always get judged by who I'm dating. Or sometimes when she have a bad day, or we was at Costco one day, and it was like going really bad for us. Because I guess he has the ID, whatever you need to show, and we were still like trying to get in or whatever we were doing, trying to like get food. Soon as he showed up, that's all of a sudden everybody bowed down to him. I said, I cannot live my life like that, where if my man don't show up, no one's gonna take me like serious. I'm like, I don't want that life. But some people could go through it and that's them. But I'm like, that's not for me. That's not for me.
To piggyback off you, I've never dated outside my race. And that's because of the environment I was in. I mean, I grew up in Alabama, was black everywhere. And then it's a little spring, you know, you're attracting, you date people who are in your proximity. And so that was my experience. Now, I do think, you know, I don't mind going to the other side. I've just never been presented that opportunity. So, but also too, my like I said before earlier, my stepmom is a white woman. So I've been exposed to interracial dating, which it can be very, very tricky when it comes to conversations and experiences. You have a white woman who grew up in Alabama. You have a black man who grew up in Alabama. Like those two experiences is very different, and also viewpoints are very different. So I would say to anybody, like, listen, baby, love who you love. I don't care who you love, whatever. Just be mindful of the person who doesn't understand your experience, to be informed or want to get educated on it. 'Cause to me, that's very important.
Yeah, it's sort of like people always have like jokes about like what their intentions really are, if you're really being tokenized, or if you like I guess race play within, you know, that kind of thing. Even if you do or you don't, that's just sort of like the side eye, or like the like, oh, that's what you like type of jokes, you know. But honestly, I don't really, well, I guess I do feel guilt somewhat of being like the girl who like couldn't hold it down for the black community or something like.
But see, that's an undue pressure. Like
Yeah.
the first question that we had, you feel undue pressure to behave a certain way.
In facts.
Man, yo, I am Jamaican, like I told you. Me, black man growing up, I think probably starting college, that's when I started seeing black men coming towards me. Black men did not like me. I was too dark. They didn't like me because I was too skinny. I
didn't
have
like
no
me either.
titties, no booty, no nothing.
Same reason.
Not even the shade that they like. None of that. So, yeah, my family and a lot of my friends used to make fun of me because, baby, if the white chocolate likes the dark chocolate, who am I? Who am I to push it away? I mean, they be cute. Cute. I feel like I don't discriminate. It's about, like, your heart and looks play a role, too. For me, and personality. So that was like a big thing for me. I didn't start dating my race for real until he wasn't even my race. Like, he was half. So like after college, like college.
Yeah. I would say similar. Similar vibes, but again, because growing up in a very all-white space, so that was all that was around me. I would want to be with, like, but then I would want to be like with white guys, but yeah, they would not all of them would want to be with me because again I am black, and again in a very generally very conservative, very hidden and overt racism. So it was very difficult for me to actually date even throughout high school and college. Whenever I moved out here, and I think I did internalize a lot of that. Like, I had a lot of internalized racism, honestly. And I think that did play a part into who I would go for when I would date. Because I feel like if I was dating outside of my race, because I would feel more validated in a way, if that makes sense. It's like a very twisted kind of thing that I really had to do a lot of work to, like, unlearn. But I would feel like, because a lot of black guys, not all, a lot of black guys that I have been interested in, they would not want me either. And I was like, well, if y'all don't want me because I'm black, then I'll go outside of my race to someone else. And then it's just like, sometimes they would, sometimes they wouldn't. And it's just,
And then they'd be mad about it. They don't want to date you, but they'll be mad about it.
and yeah, like black guys will be mad. They're like,
They'll be
well, why
mad
aren't
about
you?
it.
So mad. The white men treat me better. Like, they treat me like a queen. They be like, oh my god, my goddess. And I'd be like, oh
And it's not just white guys. Like I've dated, I dated Hispanic guys. I've dated like Asian guys. Like if they like you as a person and like not that they're overlooking the fact that you're black, because I think that's incredibly ridiculous. If someone likes you by overlooking the fact that you're black, but they're liking you because of who you are, and the fact that you're black is a bonus. That's all of it.
I can find beauty in, all men. There's a beautiful man somewhere of every single race. But, I wanted everybody to go first because I kind of have probably a pretty comprehensive perspective. I actually wrote a book about this. I don't want to plug myself, but I'll just say this. This has been sort of my lane to try to encourage black women to not just be like, oh, just get with a white guy. But we have a set of unique challenges when it comes to dating and relationships. It is shocking to me that only 26% of black women are married. 26%. I could throw a rock right now and I'll have like an 80% chance if there's a crowd full of black women, she won't be married. And for me, I'm also like a different generation. I'm Gen X, and I just feel like you just go with the best man for the job. Like, it's character above color for me. Like we talked about earlier, it was, okay, so these are the challenges that I had in the community. It's like, oh, you're skinny, you're too dark, your hair's too nappy. Instead of getting mad, I'm like, okay, let's see what other options do I have? And I'm seeing, like, Abdul's looking at me, and, Tommy Chen is looking at me, and Greg is looking at me, and I want to get married. Like, I want to get married, and these are the guys who are like, I'm open to it. And if the guy, and it's also just regional, so it's like, I'm not gonna be, swimming the high seas. I'm not going to be climbing mountains and going through valleys and looking under rocks to try to find a person to make everybody else feel comfortable. Like, I am not going to be traveling to different countries and doing all this thing so I can find a black man so that you can feel okay with my choice. Like, I'm going to have to go home to this person. I want this person to match my values, beliefs. I want us to be compatible. I want him to be attracted to me. I want to be attracted to him. But it's like, look, are we going? Oh, you want to go? Is this where, oh, you going? Okay, let's go. Let's go. And I'm engaged to be married right now. And my guy is white. And I can tell you that he is a wonderful man. But he would be a wonderful man even if he weren't white. Like, everything about him, if he was just, it wouldn't matter, because it's what is in him. It is who he is as a person that I love the most. And I don't care if he's green with purple sparkles. That's my man.
My man.
I love that.
Honestly, it's really like, I won't deny the fact that I'm shallow. Like, I like to be attracted to the person that I'm connected to, because I feel like the person I'm connected to will probably be attracted to me.
I think that's everyone, though.
Like,
Everyone wants to be
I'm good. Like, I don't really say, like, I don't have, like I won't date a certain race, but it's sort of like I have a type. And if you fall within the type, and it doesn't matter which race you are, like, if you're my type, then you're my type. So that's just how I see it.
Yeah, I agree with that too. But also, we haven't talked about the culture part too, which is very important for me. I am a girl who's a free thinker, who grew up with a very strong, independent woman. I'm like, listen, I like you a lot, but we got to have like the same type of mindset when it comes to you, how you see me as a person and a woman. So if you're going to respect me, I'm going to respect you. and I don't want to bow down to you because of what your beliefs that I should do. And we have to have some type of evil or level playing field when it comes to that. I don't care what color you are, but of course we want you to be attractive. But for me, the most important thing is our core values and making sure that whatever you think spiritually aligns with mine, because that's to me the most important part when it comes to relationships. If you guys are aligned in the same thing, because imagining someone who's Catholic marrying an atheist, like they ain't gonna never work. So just being aligned in that, and then having mutual respect for each other, because a lot of men, from what I see on social media, it seems like they don't like women. And so if you are marrying a man, or he don't like you, girl. He don't like you. So it's like me, and like me for who I am, and don't like me for an image. Or for women, I hate that what we do. We try to mold ourselves to be the perfect girl for him. And then we wonder why it don't work out. Because you've come in lying already from the jump. You haven't been your authentic self. Because you are just like, okay, well, he wants me to do this. Girl, you know you can't cook. Girl, you know you're not, quote unquote, a traditional woman. But because you want to be married so bad, you are dishonoring yourself in the process. Because I feel like the person who's supposed to be for you will come, but you have to love yourself and be like, listen. And also too, like, you're not going to be perfect because you're putting two different people together. But when it comes to it, you also have to have a mutual respect for each other. I mean, that's to me the most important part.
Social media and TV. Literally, it's what they're taught, like it's embedded. It's what they're seeing all around them. So like a lot of black men, they see other successful black men in higher places with white women or with mixed race women or someone that's not black, and they seem so happy. It seems like the woman is just like doing whatever they want and giving them so much peace. When they see a black woman, I feel like they pair us with lack of peace. That's the first thing that they think of. Lack of peace and loud. No peace, loudness. When they see themselves with other races, other women, they see it to be like, it seems more peaceful. Oh my God, my beautiful wife is going to take care of the house. She's going to clean. She's going to stay at home. She's not going to yell or raise her voice. That's what they see. They want something that's, I feel like, easy because of what they're seeing online and on TV. But they don't know the truth. You're seeing one thing, but you don't know what's going on behind closed doors, you know? You don't know if that man is truly happy behind closed doors. You don't know what that woman is dealing with behind closed doors. So I feel like, yeah, that's what it is.
I would feel like there's like more to it, because yes, social media and everything, that's like one level, but I think there's a deeper layer here. Especially with black men and how a lot of them have a certain view of black women. A lot of black men were raised by single moms who had to be a certain type of way because they didn't have like the extra, a lot of them don't have the support system that they would have had. Like I had both of my parents in the home, thankfully. I'm very thankful for that. So like I had a very different way of growing up, but for a lot of others who, you know, as you said, what did you say? You said like 26% or whatever of black women are unmarried. I don't know what percentage of the unmarried are, you know, like single.
No. There's only 20% of women who are actually married. Okay. The rest are not.
Okay, and the 74%. I don't know what percentage of them are single moms, but it's hard to deny the fact that there is such a large population of black men and women being raised by single moms. And just you have to be a certain way. You have to be strong. You have to be like doing all the stuff. You have to be the breadwinner. You have to be the caretaker. You have to be so many different things. And like this pressure and this of all of that can be very heavy. And a lot of black men, when they're kids, they're not seeing the full picture. So they have a certain view of like, oh, this is how my mom was, and this is how all black women are, and like, or something like that. And then again, yes, it is supported by media and all this stuff, but as far as why white men have a different view of black women, I don't know. I don't know how I'd answer that. I mean, I've dated white men. I think I've dated more white men men who are white more than any other race, but I feel like because they don't have that
The baggage.
background.
They don't-
Yeah, that baggage.
They don't
Because
have the
of
baggage.
white supremacy.
I kind of think like the ones that tend to be interested in me, they're not like necessarily looking for a black woman. Like they're on Bumble, like I'm on Bumble, and I'm like, oh, he's cute, oh, she's cute, and then you guys get together, and it's not this whole thing of like, oh my God, I'm dating a black woman. Like I've had those kind of conversations, and I find them creepy. I really like
Find them creepy hat.
they're creep, like the ones that are just like, oh, sexual chocolate, look at you, chocolate.
Oh yeah,
Like
that's
that's,
Yeah,
I would rather have somebody who just sort of has like this blank slate. They're not on social media. They're not looking at media takeout. You know what I mean? They're not on Black Twitter and getting all these like stereotypical reinforcements. They tend to not even be sort of in the periphery of the community. They're not looking at the media, but they just see you and they're like, oh, she seems nice. They don't even know all the stuff that's going on over here.
yeah.
And then,
I had a different experience. I had an experience with a white guy and a couple of other white guys, and every time they came to me, it was always about money. They always want to buy you. They always want to tell me, like, you need this, you need that, and they always want to give me money. So I'm like, why is it in the white community when a white guy dates a black woman, I have to take care of that woman? I got to save that woman. I got to give her money. What's your situation? Like, I'm like, I don't want all that. It's fine if I work and I do things on my own. It's just, I always see that with them. And that's some of the reasons why I kind of stay away from it. Because I had so many come at me with money and kind of like a sugar daddy situation. And that's not who I am. So I just back away from it, where black guys don't do that. They don't throw their wallet at you on the first day they meet you. So that's
Well,
my
Because if
experience.
I don't got the wallet, baby.
I think we have to be sort of honest too, because if y'all are on the social media that I'm so on, I'm seeing women of all races being like, you can't even talk to me unless you pay me first.
That's very true.
Like we can't just be like, okay, this is coming out of nowhere. It's like there's some narratives that are going on online where it's like, you need to pay me to pay all my bills, my hair, my nails, my rent, and all this other stuff. They may see that and think that's what you want. You know what I mean?
I think, I won't cut you off. I think it's a very nuanced thing because there's multiple things that happen at the same time. You think about the single mother, but then why is there a single mother? Because they make the whole thing welfare queens and then mass incarceration.
Yeah.
And then the fathers are not there to take, to be in the household. Because before, in the 60s, that was happening. And then mass incarceration,
There are less free black men than free black women as well. So there's no way for black men and women, every black woman to date a black man. There's not enough.
There won't be enough.
Exactly.
There's no million
And so
will be
it's
left.
like there's so many different things, and then you have the media. So it's like so much systematic things are going on because you have self-hatred, and then you have the woman who's been working hard. And she's a single parent, and she doesn't necessarily, she's the provider. She doesn't have time to be soft to nurture the child.
Exactly.
And then it's just, and then you got mental health. It's just so much stuff is going on. And then I think about it, it could be just accountability and all, and just like you can have a terrible upbringing, but you can still want better for yourself and decide, like, you know what? This was a terrible childhood. I want better for myself and for my kids. I want to do something different. But it's like we won't have time to talk about it. It's just so much to unpack.
Multi-layered.
I've been tokenized at work for being black.
What am I holding my phone? I mean, I don't know if we're supposed to mention that we're in the entertainment industry, but in LA specifically, and also I work in a lot of verticals, and you don't ever see a black girl being the main character in a frilly rom-com type of thing. It's just not the standard, and a lot of times I'm playing someone in the background, or a maid, or someone who's a sidekick. And I don't know, I feel if you want to be in those spaces, that's what you kind of have to accept, that you'll never be the main character. You will be in the background of somebody else's story. And I feel like I want to, break that sort of, I guess, stereotype or like the standard, but it's like, it feels like a very big hurdle to jump over when it's sort of like been how it's always been since like the conception of entertainment.
I think that anybody who's ever heard, funny, you don't sound black on the phone. I think that there's certain expectations in the workplace. And I have not worked corporate for a long time, but when I did, I just kind of was like Machiavellian about it. It's like, I already know what you probably think about black women, or black people in general. So I am going to make your head spin and be the complete opposite. And they're like, oh my God, you're so well spoken. Oh yes, I am. How much are you paying me? And it's like, it sucks to have that happen, but I'm gonna flip it like jujitsu. I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna use that to, okay, you may have a low expectation, but I'm gonna come in and exceed your expectations, and I'm gonna get what I want, and you're gonna feel really good about yourself, but it was my plan in the first place, to have that be flipped. Please don't say I'm not the only one that's happened to.
I can say I don't work in corporate America, so my experience is so different from a lot of other people. I work in a creative space, and for my experience as of late, I work with very mixed environments. So I don't know about the future, but for now, I've never experienced that. So I really don't when it comes to working.
So you've never been in a space, like a working environment, where you were the only black person? Or the only black woman?
So when y'all saying like tokenized, I'm like, okay, because I do hair and makeup, then if they have a black talent that comes in, I'll be the person who does it. But I don't necessarily feel tokenized. I'm just doing my job and just leaving. I guess it's just how you view it. Because when I view tokenized, I'm thinking of like, okay, this my one black friend. I don't necessarily, or this is the one black person who's like this superior person. I don't view it like that. That way. Okay. So yeah.
But I can see where you're kind of going with it, but it's like everybody can imagine like the magic Negro. Like Morgan Freeman is the magic Negro. Like everybody could be white. Morgan Freeman comes in, and then it's like, oh my God, the black person said something. It's worked well for Morgan, but I think that that's a little exhausting. I think that sometimes people pile on things. I think there's like a level of kind of maybe even fetishization that goes along with it, and it can be very uncomfortable, And then when you're outside of what they expect, they get angry, they get upset, they're shocked, they get annoyed, There's a level of control that I'm not comfortable with.
Or they sort of like push this thing on you, like, so if someone says like a fried chicken joke, everybody turns their head and looks at you and like be like, hey, be the back person and laugh at your own like be the butt of the joke and be happy about it.
Exactly.
It's sort of is very like weird to be in that position.
Microaggressions.
I experienced it as a model, because I feel like I'm really good at what I do, even though it's not like shown a lot. And I feel like when I am in spaces where they pick me to do like shows or certain shoots, for instance, I did a really big shoot not too long ago, and I feel like I was tokenized because like there was another race female, she's talented as well, but they needed someone opposite. They needed a dark-skinned girl or a black girl, period, to go alongside with this girl. And I feel as though, like, even though we weren't, like, equal as far as, like, what we could do, like, they viewed me as, like, oh, my God, like, okay, for instance, I'm on set, we're posing, the shoot started, they're like, oh, my God, it's like, everything I do is just breathtaking, and I'm like, this is mediocre. Like, I didn't even start yet for real. Like, y'all calm down, because you're really not gonna be ready for what I'm about to do next. And it's like, sometimes I feel like when that does happen, I sometimes feel like I have to push to help the other girls, so it doesn't seem like I'm stomping on them, but it's really just me experimenting and trying to be the best version of myself in what I do. But I always, like, when I do see it happening, I know how other people could feel about it, who's witnessing it, and I always, like, turn back and be like, okay, let me help you. All right, this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna make you look good too. You feel me? Because I don't want it to be like like I feel like that's the quickest way to get two people to turn against or envy each other. So yeah.
I will say, like back in the South where I'm from, when I was working in certain places, I was often like the only black person, and either the only black person or one more, one other, and the thing that I feel like was the hardest thing about being the token black person was that whenever any issue that was remotely black came up, or remotely, like, I don't know, minority, whatever, they would ask me, like, how I felt about it. Like, as if I could speak for all black people. And, like, the pressure for that was, like, insane. Or if I had to be a certain way, of course, because I didn't want to reinforce certain stereotypes and all this stuff. Like, it's kind of exhausting, honestly, being a token.
It really is.
And tokens get spent, so.
I grew up in the 80s, and I swear to God, every January they would do the film of Martin Luther King and, like, all the civil rights people, and it would be an all-white classroom, and everybody's looking at him, looking at me like he's my cousin or something. I'm like, why are y'all looking at, it was so uncomfortable. They're looking at you like you were there, like you know them, like that's your uncle. It's like, those are uncomfortable days, you know? It really is hard to be like the only like chocolate chip in the vanilla ice cream sometimes.
I mean, it got its perks though. I mean, sometimes you're gonna feel like you're doing something, like you're being appreciated for what you're capable of doing sometimes. So I feel like that's a perk to it. Cause sometimes, I'm not gonna lie, modeling y'all think it's easy? Child, they will look at you and be like, you suck, and you could be better than the person that they're highlighting. I swear to you. So sometimes it does feel good to have, you know,
as long as you can work use it to your advantage. Yeah.
It's just amazing hearing your experiences when it comes to being the token. It's like, okay, dang, I don't know if I have blinders, but it's just like, because I'm so used of just being just not even thinking about it, and then, you know, it's just like I enjoy hearing your perspective when it comes to that and the way you feel.
I like hearing your perspective because it's much more relaxed.
Yeah.
I feel like you're very like settled into like yourself and your beliefs and comfortable with the decision that you make. You're not walking around with a lot of angst. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I would tell people when even when I'm working, I'm like, honey, leave that nervous energy away from me. Okay. We're gonna get the job done, but let's just come up with a solution, because all this.
it's
Don't have me
you want the
feeling
eyeliner straight, right?
Exactly.
Still.
So just we got it. Okay.
Thank you all for sharing so openly today. Your honesty and vulnerability have made this conversation truly meaningful. At this point, we want to give you the choice to remove your masks if you feel comfortable. There is no pressure. Keeping your mask on is just as powerful a statement as taking it off. If you feel ready to stand openly by your words, you can remove your mask now. And if you'd rather stay masked, that's completely okay too. The choice is yours, and either way, your truth has been seen and heard.
Makeup is how it's hold up.
Probably all sweaty underneath.
I know.
Use the fan now.
This is crazy.
I lost a name.
Where's a mirror?
I feel like that's the problem nowadays. Everyone want to hide behind the mask. And I feel like if we all take the mask off and start actually just sharing how we feel, then maybe somebody else who didn't understand us will be able to understand. You feel me? Because most of the time, most people don't know
what you went through, your experiences, your perspective on certain things, why you move or think the way you think. So I feel like if you express that more and showcase that more, less problems, possibly. Let's try it.
Absolutely.
I feel like black girls, like even black girls, are entitled to feel their like darker or like not most easily accepted and like emotions and express that, because we don't have to perform all the time. We don't have to make everyone happy. We can say some things that are probably unsavory, and other people say it all the time. Like, we have the same right as everyone else.
We do.
It's not that I wouldn't have said it. I just wouldn't have brought it up. If I was never asked these questions, I wouldn't have brought it up, honestly, because why? No one ever asked. It's never been a thing. So.
Some of the stuff I said, I've said it already to other people, like dating outside my race and stuff like that. Everybody know how I feel about stuff like that, so it is what it is.
Yeah, I think, like, for me, I've been saying a lot of the things that I said. There has been some new stuff that I said. And the reason why I took off the mask is because I think that's what we all should be doing. I'm really frustrated with people feeling like they have to say things that they think they're supposed to say. Like, whether it's a political opinion or if it has something to do with culture or race, it's like, these are the standard things that you're supposed to say, and you're not supposed to say these things. So it's gonna take, people to be brave, to be the avant-garde, to be the ones that say, I said what I said. And that's what black women are really good at. We say what we say, and hopefully it will, at least for me, it's giving me personally more courage, and also hearing all of your perspectives and seeing that we're really not that far apart. Even if you haven't, there's probably some aspect of what I said to you that you can relate to, and I can feel the same way about you. And I think that that's really what's important. And what's missing is that people aren't really sitting down, talking to each other, and being honest. And I think these conversations are great.
Absolutely.
I feel like I just met 5 new friends.
Yay! I think I took my mask off because I was like, okay, girl, I'm me. I've always been my authentic self and not really afraid of being someone different. I think the person who I built up to be me, I wasn't that girl when I was younger. And I've always said, when I decided to be authentically Monica, I'm gonna do that outright. So if that means if I ruffled a few feathers, but I feel like I've kind of like, put my little pizzazz to it and add my little comedy to it, but also trying to, being aware of what's going on. I think one of the questions that was asked about, I think it was like something at the workplace. And because I am my brand, I'm a makeup artist, I'm very cognizant of what I say because I don't know who my potential client may be. So some things I may say, like, okay, girl, can't really say too much, but also still saying enough to get the point across. Girl,
I was very hesitant.
I
only did it because everyone else was doing it.
not peer pressure.
Digital footprint. Hello. I don't know.
That's true.
And people can edit things and take things out of context, and that's always concerning. But I mean, if people do their due diligence and actually watch the whole video, then I don't think there will be anything wrong.
No. Literally everything you
did
said
a good
was
job of
brilliant.
answering our question.
Everybody's gonna be mad at you. I don't know.
I mean, they're always
Have them
trolls.
call me. I'll take care of it.
I actually like arguing in the comments. I wake up to 3,000 people liking what I said. I'm like, okay.
Let them be mad, honey. Yeah, because the comment sections are a fool.
Yes,
Did y'all
they
see
are.
them comment
They be
sections?
keyboard warriors and Twitter
Yes,
fingers all
exactly.
the
They
way.
will never say it to a person in real life, which is it's
Yeah.
scary. They even have like different accounts or like, like little spam accounts. It's like, babe, why do you care about what somebody else doing with their life? I don't care.
It's like multiple personality disorder.
Yeah, it's like you can have your thoughts, but sometimes people get these parasocial relationships and it's
Oh my
like,
gosh.
babes, they don't know you. And it's okay. Yeah.
Did you guys hear about the unknown caller? Like the mom who pretended to be the
Girl,
she's like, that's my alter ego. Just was a whole different
And that's
person.
a whole different thing. How about how some parents hate their children because they're jealous of them? That's a whole different conversation, girl.
Definitely. That's a juicy one.
I enjoyed this a lot. I've never been in front of the camera before. I'm always the girl behind the scenes, but I kind of like this.
Yeah, I like it too.
I'm not gonna lie, this is my first time being actually in this room. In different shows, but in this room, but I just love my opinion. Like, y'all gotta hear
We
it.
love your opinion too.
We do.
As you should.